they've known. So I feel like it's very important for people to have that independent experience, because it just teaches you so much. And not only does it teach you so much, but you have control over your progress, which is really cool.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like I've seen so many people basically that have either come into the industry or were in the industry before me, and they end up leaving it, hating it because of certain things. And I think you're a good example of somebody that it may not have gone your way, but you found a way to work with it until it didn't work anymore, and you left it without having to hate it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really important lesson that I want other people to hear about, because hate only gets more hate. And if you came into this loving it, you don't deserve to leave it hating it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What was that like for you specifically? I mean, it's not a one size fits all. We know that happiness and success, they don't go hand in hand. But for you, you're showing, like a lot of sports, people don't know what to do after sports are done, whether it's on your terms or not. You're showing that there's other things, you know, just like there's some football players that are showing there's life after football. You're showing that there's life outside of wrestling as well. How did that really come about for you? Because I think that that's important for people to see too, whether they can wrestle or they can't wrestle anymore and they need to find something else while still loving wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's very important, very, very important to have something outside of wrestling that you enjoy, just so, you're not driving yourself crazy, because this business will drive you crazy. And I feel like all of us need an outlet. Luckily, I found music, and I definitely think that, there is a life outside of wrestling, and people should try to explore that as much as possible. I know I'm kind of like rambling right now. I forgot the initial question actually.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah, what was the initial question? Because I know I'm just talking right now.
Oh, that's okay. I'll rephrase it instead. You have obviously gotten into music even before you left the WWE.
Yeah.
So, what was that process like for you? Because I mean, I'm assuming your love of music didn't just come out of thin air. You obviously had this outlet, and it was something that you enjoyed. It was very therapeutic for you, and you're showing that there is a life outside of wrestling. What sparked your love and affinity for music?
Yeah, so music has been a part of my life ever since I was a little kid. My parents were and still are a gospel duo. They've gotten nominated for Stellar Awards in the past.
That's so cool.
My dad was a music producer as well. So we actually had an in-home studio, and he would have sessions every day, all day, and it was right underneath my bedroom. So I could literally hear every session just pumping through my vents, and I would go on like tour with my parents on like boats and to churches and award shows and stuff like that. So music has always been a part of my life. And then once I got to my teenage years, I started writing poetry. And I think once I had that little hiatus from the WWE for about 6 to 7 months, I think what it was, that time I needed to get my mind off of wrestling completely. So I tapped into music. I thought that this would be the perfect time to do something that I really have been wanting to do. And honestly, I think if I haven't had that time away from the WWE, I don't even think that I would be doing music right now, just because I just didn't have the time. And I feel like there was nothing driving me to pursue music. I feel like as soon as all of that stuff kind of happened with me in the WWE, it made me think that I wanted to possibly pursue something outside of wrestling, because I just wasn't happy at the time, and I knew that music and writing and expressing myself vocally or verbally, I knew that was what was going to make me happy. So I think that's how music started with me.
I love hearing that. I'm a firm believer that there's a positive that can come out of every negative, and you're an example of that. I mean, a hiatus from the WWE, you don't necessarily know how long it lasts, and then you found another passion and kind of poured yourself into it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It was a really cool. I think it was cool how it all started, and it is crazy to think about. I don't think I would be doing music if I didn't have that time away from WWE.
Well, I'm glad that you are. I know that there's a lot of people that have been enjoying the stuff that you've been putting out, and I'm going to assume that they're going to be very excited about your album coming out on Monday. How excited and proud is your family of you right now to think like,
Oh
wow,
man,
look at all the stuff he's done.
my parents are losing their mind. Not even just because of the wrestling. My they've just seen me grow up and literally playing with wrestling toys locked in my room since I was 5 years old, and just always saying that I want to be a wrestler. I want to be a wrestler. And I'm sure, and I don't think I would ever understand the feeling until I see, my kids grow up and accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. But I'm sure it was cool for them to see me as a little kid playing video games, playing wrestling games, and 20 years later, I'm in a wrestling game. So
Right?
I'm pretty sure that's really cool for them. And then on the music side of it, my parents always wanted me to start singing or being involved in music. And I just always told them like, no, I don't think it's for me and all that. And now I'm like doing music. So yeah, I think, yeah, I think they're really happy for me. They're proud of me, and just excited that my life has, gone down the road it's gone down.